Hello my friends, today I will speak to you about the 5 levels of the human consciousness, the 5 levels of our psyche, how we work as human beings. If we understand this correctly, we can really start to take control back of our consciousness and take control back of our destiny and our lives, which is really important. So if you're interested in learning how our 5 levels of human consciousness work, stay until the end of the video. And you learn this, I promise you, this might be able to change your life once you understand it. Okay, so let's get right to the topic. Well, the first level of consciousness is presence energy. Well, actually, before I get into the topic, you first have to understand that we are not this physical body, we are our souls, our oversouls, and this physical body is just our avatar that we use in this 3D physical reality. This is important because the topic that I'm going to talk to you about is quite spiritual and like metaphysical. So if you don't get this at first, you won't be able to understand any of it. So let's get right into the topic now. The first level of human consciousness is our presence energy, our I am consciousness. I am, meaning that if you say I am and just feel into these words, not like say them intellectually and try to understand their meaning, but just feel into the resonance of their words, then you'll be able to feel that you're not this body. You're I am consciousness. This is the presence that this body is in. Basically, there is an energy field, huge energy field around our body that this body is in. And you're the awareness that observes everything that happens to the body, your thoughts, your emotions, and so on. So this is the first level, is the most original state, and if you stay in this state for extended periods of time, you will be able to really awaken to your true nature, to your soul's mission, and you really sense like bliss and joy and happiness and love without having to acquire anything in the outer world. It's so amazing, but that's a quite different topic. Maybe I will do a video on this later. So this is the first level of consciousness. It's really important to understand this. And how you get into this level of consciousness, it's quite simple, but the technique that I will share with you now will only get you to this level of consciousness for about 2 to 5 seconds. And if you want to get into this level of consciousness for extended periods of time, you have to repeat this technique in meditation, and you have to keep your focus and concentration on the field around your body. So how it works, it's basically like this. You take a deep breath, you exhale, and in these 2 to 5 seconds of the exhaled state, you're in this presence consciousness, in this field of energy. But you might not be able to sense this at first, but if you do this continually for extended periods of time, or if you do this daily, let's say like 12 times per day or something like this for a couple of months in a row, then you will really be able to sense this presence energy which is around your body, and you'll really understand deeper that you're not this body, you're the awareness that encompasses this body. And if you're too attached to this body, then you feel that you're the body, but it's not the case. It's not how reality works. So this is the first level of consciousness, and it's quite important to understand this before we go to the next one. So the second level of consciousness is our points of view. You can imagine this like a funnel through which you see reality, the perceptions you have towards the events and circumstances that happen in your life. So there are so many different perceptions that you have about everything that happens in your life, the circumstances, events, people you meet, and everything you experience. Basically, you have a choice to experience the things in your life from many different perceptions and many different points of view. But what happened through time is that you gave a meaning to some events in your life, and then you forgot to change this meaning over time. So this meaning became a belief, which gets us to the third level of consciousness, which is our emotional body, our aura. Let's call it like this. Our aura, this is also called, if you study human psychology, this is called your subconscious. And your subconscious, what it does is that your subconscious is like a storage for repressed emotions over events that you haven't experienced in the past. So basically something happened, it might be something good or bad. Most of the time it's something bad. For example, somebody made you really angry or really anxious, and you didn't experience this event fully at the time in which it happened, and you repressed this emotion. So this emotion stays in your subconscious mind, and you also gave a meaning to this event which is like not so aligned with how reality works and how your soul sees reality. So that's why the emotion feels bad. This is also important to understand. So that's your third level of consciousness. It's the subconscious mind. It's the energy field around our body. It's the emotional body. Then we get to the belief system. This is our fourth level of consciousness, and this is basically our unconscious mind. In the Freud human psyche, if you study this, it's called the unconscious mind. So basically, the unconscious mind, what it really is all the perceptions and points of view that you gave to different events or circumstances that happened in your life in the past, which are not aligned with how reality works, which are not true. This basically is how our ego is built. So it's quite important to understand this on a deeper level, so you understand how your mind works and how you can reprogram it to feel better and to move towards your dreams. So yeah, the fourth level of consciousness is our belief systems. And when something happens in our life, when basically a bad event happens, and we give a negative perception, a negative meaning to this event, which is the event itself is meaningless. It has no inherent meaning. It's empty inside. It's basically just an occurrence in the world, and you give meaning to this event. And when the meaning you gave to this event is not aligned with how reality works, then you feel bad. So these levels of consciousness, they are connected. You have a wrong point of view, this builds a belief over time. If you repeat this point of view over time, I'll give you an example. If you had a relationship and you broke up with your partner and then you feel bad about this, basically you build this belief that you're losing something when you break up with your partner, but it's not the way how reality works. You're not losing anything at this time. That's why it feels bad, because you gave a wrong perception or a wrong meaning to this event. That's why your emotional body, your emotional guidance system is saying to you that this is out of alignment, and that's why it feels bad. Because you have to notice this and change your perception. And once you change your perception, you'll notice a little shift in your consciousness. At first, it won't be huge, you won't be able to feel the difference, but if you give this meaning to the event, to the same event that occurs in your life, reoccurs, then you'll be able to shift your belief system. What you gotta understand is that our emotions are basically guidance system to how we should view the world, or how we should view the events that happen in the world. So this is quite important. So let's get back to the topic, the fourth level of consciousness. This is our belief systems, and they get built over time when we give wrong meaning and wrong perceptions which are out of alignment to how reality works and to how our soul, our oversoul, sees the world. They build the belief systems, and then the emotions that basically show us that the belief, that the perception we have towards the event is wrong, build our repressed emotions in our emotional body, and this builds up our ego. So this is how the human psyche works. I'm really explaining this pretty basic, so you have to rewatch this video a couple of times to get this, to really understand this information. But once you do, and once you contemplate over this for a while, you start to get how your mind works, and you understand more about yourself. How do we make the transformation? Oh, actually, the fifth level of consciousness is our thoughts and emotions that we feel on a daily basis. They basically get triggered from circumstances in our life. So when something happens, let me explain it this way. When something happens in our life, when a circumstance happens and you feel bad about it, this means that you're basically triggering a wrong belief system, a wrong perception or point of view about the event that just happened. So that's why it feels bad. And this is the point when you have to take control back of your consciousness and really give a different meaning to the event. So that's how you heal yourself. That's how you liberate yourself from your past and from your identification with the body and the world. It's really how it works. It's quite hard at first to do this, but if you keep doing this daily on every single situation or circumstance that happens in your life, which makes you feel bad, and you change your perceptions over and over and over again, you really start to experience this shift in consciousness, and you start to feel your level of happiness and bliss exponentially increase. So that's how it works. That's how the whole spiritual journey works. So the fifth level of consciousness are the thoughts and emotions that get triggered from the circumstances and situations in our life. These are basically all the thoughts that we have in our mind, all the chatter, the monkey mind, and they get triggered because of circumstances or because of something that you see. It might be even less simple than that. It might be just you're doing nothing and you have some thoughts about something in your mind, and this is because you've just recalled like a belief system or experience that made you feel bad, and that's why these thoughts appear. So it's quite connected. You see it, how it's connected. Like you have the situation and circumstances in your life, you have your memory, which basically brings back these thoughts and emotions, and the emotions feel bad because you believe something about the circumstance which is not in alignment with how your soul sees the world. And that's how you learn. You just have to change your perceptions about everything that happened in your life in the past and about everything that happens right now in your life, because your beliefs create your reality, and they create your reality for you to learn about yourself and about the wrong meanings you gave to similar events in the past, which make you grow. If you change your perceptions and you do this over and over and over again for, let's say, a month or something, you really start to feel your consciousness, your level of consciousness shift, and you also feel a lot different. You feel love and compassion and joy and bliss out of nothing, because you exist, which is the whole purpose of learning all this information. So yeah, I think this video is getting quite longer, so I'll just stop it right here. I hope you understand everything that I just said. Really start to practice this in your daily life. See how it works in your daily routine. See when you feel bad, why you feel bad, what makes you feel bad. Basically, what belief systems have you acquired throughout your journey so far that make you feel bad now, and how you can change your point of view towards the situation or circumstance that just happens, so you can then shift your belief system and shift your emotional state. That's how it works. So I really hope you got something out of this video. I really hope you practice this in your daily life. And if you have any questions, you can comment down below. You can share this with friends if you feel that they'll get some value out of it. That's my purpose. That's why I do all these videos. I want you guys to understand how our psyche works, how our nervous system works, and how to live more in alignment with our true purpose and our true vision of the future. So, thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.